I've just tripped over Ida. I managed to stay on my feet. We were down at the putting chickens to bed, and one of the gold hens is broody, and she's between the two straw bales that are left on the old potting table. So we were trying to oink her out, and I went and got hold of her, turned, and spooked Ida, who went across my bowels like Jazz does. And I did one of those I'm not going to fall over running things. And I didn't fall over, and I don't feel that I pulled anything, but I really smashed into Ida, who seems fine. She came charging up the garden like she normally does when she follows us up on all fours, bouncing. So I think she's fine, but it certainly spooked everybody else. And Mark said, "Oh, thank goodness I was here," and I went, "But I didn't fall over." Bit of a shock. Um, I've got a blanket behind me. I have been here for the last hour with a blanket wrapped around me, wrapped around my legs. It is just cold. Not freezing cold, but this is, August, and inside is 21, which shouldn't be too bad. Outside is 18. But the temperatures that we're experiencing at the moment are the temperatures that you would expect in October, not August. So I've got this top on, this top on. Mark's got 3 layers on and jeans. I've got longer leggings on, and I've had this over me. I've had a very, very painful throat since the early hours of Saturday morning. I took an ibuprofen about an hour ago. I'm not meant to take ibuprofen, but it's the only thing that makes any difference. And I know it is easier, a little easier, but none of my analgesia is working as effectively as I'd like it to. Yesterday and overnight, every time I swallowed, I went, scrunched as I swallowed, and I'm not doing that now. But it's very uncomfortable. I wouldn't describe it as a sore throat. It's a pain here. Horrible. I have come across conversations over the last couple of days from long-term, I'm going to say expats because you all know what I mean when I say expats, but long-term inhabitants of France who are English, complaining about the tourists. It's making me laugh because I'm thinking, you seem to have forgotten that you were a tourist once, oblivious to whatever was going on and oblivious to the uproar that you may have been causing in the locality that you were in. And you were complaining about tourists who may one day become inhabitants. And I always have to we do joke about it sometimes as we, I go, oh, bloody tourists, but we know that was us. We arrived here as tourists. We went and did our thing wherever we were touring, and I don't think we caused uproar. But yeah, it just makes me laugh that they're complaining about tourists when you were a tourist once. Don't be complaining about them. They've got as much right to be here as we have. Unless they're Dutch people with COVID. That was getting to me in the early COVID years because Dutch people were still travelling when, I don't know how, they were getting across the borders, and we'd be behind a camping car with, from the Netherlands, and I'd be really angry thinking, you're fucking bringing your COVID here. But yeah, don't complain about tourists because you were a tourist once. And you are, if you go on holiday, then you're a tourist where you go. We're all tourists when we're travelling. So we've not really done anything all day. I had already given 6 eggs to my neighbour Francoise, who's here at the moment. She wasn't in, so I put them on her doorstep. And then I picked up that stash of eggs that I put a photo on of under the Black Hen out in the shitty muddy run. There's lots of nice places to sit and lay your eggs, but no, you're going to sit in the middle of a muddy run. she was not happy. It was 12 eggs actually when I counted them, when I put them in cold water today to make sure that they were all okay to eat. There were 12 eggs. I think I picked up one. Yeah, there were 12 eggs. So I'd given 6 to Francoise. I'd made an omelette with 6 eggs before picking up that stash. So all I did was replace what I'd got rid of. We've had 4 eggs tonight. I've given 6 eggs to Manuel. So, and I've just picked up an egg. So I've got 3 eggs. So we're in an egg glut. I'm going to have to do eggs again tomorrow. I don't mind. I didn't enjoy the omelette. I'm not really sure though whether the throat thing is causing my me to have a dodgy appetite. We had I'd been looking at them on and off as I'd been shopping in Intermarché, and on the butcher's counter, at one end of the butcher's counter, they had ready-made paellas, and I keep seeing them and thinking, oh, I might try one of those one day. So I bought one the other day. I'm quite pleased I did, because it meant I hadn't got to cook anything yesterday when I wasn't really feeling well. So we had the paella, but actually I didn't enjoy it, and I gave, I don't know, did I give some? No, I didn't give it to Mark. I did eat it, but I didn't really enjoy it. And then I did a courgette and ricotta omelette last night, and I gave him half of mine because I just couldn't eat it. So I don't know whether that's because of my throat, whether I'm just not interested in food. It hasn't stopped me eating chocolate. My sister's coming this month, which is a bit of a shock. There was a bit of a panic at the beginning when it first was announced that they were coming over. I was thinking, oh my God, I've got to sort that middle room out and make room for them, and get on top of all the house stuff and whatever. And she said, no, we're not going to stay with you, don't worry. That's too much. No, we'll stay nearby. Which it sounds awful, but it was a bit of relief. We've got people coming in September, but we know we're expecting them from the year before. They always let us know well in advance what dates they're coming. So it's like you can build up to that. When you only get 2 or 3 weeks warning, it's a bit of a shock. But I'm really, really looking forward to her coming, because I never thought that she would come over. And she's coming with her husband and with her daughter, and I think her daughter's dog. So I'm looking forward to that, and that will be later in August. I think they're going to go into Normandy to some of the battlefield stuff, and then I think they're going down to the Dordogne, and then they're coming back up here. I don't think she'll be here for long, but it'd be really nice to see her, because we're not heading over there this year. I keep saying I'm never going anywhere again. Not after what happened with Jazz. I can't leave her. She's really well. Really well. She's still thin, but she does get thin in the summer because she spends a lot of time outside, and I imagine that overnight she's spending a lot of time hunting. So she gets thin over summer, and because she got thin in May, and because she was missing for 2 weeks and wasn't eating, she's not really she'd lost all the winter weight and hadn't got enough to take her through the summer. So she's still slim. She's not thin. She looks fine, but she isn't as big as she normally is. I'm sure once she starts to slow down and comes back indoors for winter, she'll put some weight on. It's Sunday. Oh, I'm yawning again, sorry. And we haven't really got anything on. I think I've got a cleaner coming this week. Sounds odd, doesn't it? Not used to having somebody come every other week, but I think she's coming Tuesday. Yeah, I've got a cleaner coming on Tuesday. No, I haven't. I'm just realising. No, she's coming Wednesday. Yeah, she's coming Wednesday. I've gone too far down on the calendar. So that'll be nice. And then she's going to come again in 2 weeks' time. So that'll be nice. There's leaves everywhere at the moment, all in the hallway and all in Mark's room. There's leaves that blew in whilst all the doors and windows were open. So I'm going to leave it and let her hoover them up. Don't need to do that. Yeah, so that's about it really. I need to do a bit of shopping tomorrow. And hopefully this will diminish. If this diminishes, that's fine. If it doesn't, then I will have to make a doctor's appointment because I'm wondering whether I've got an ear infection because this ear keeps blocking. So I'm wondering whether it's tracking down into my throat. But I'll wait another day before I do that. So that's it really. I fell over Ida the sheep, and we both walked away in good nick, I think. Okay. Thanks for listening. Was there something else? No, thanks for listening.